We're just about ready to get started. I have one more person that I'm waiting for, and we just have a couple more minutes. So while we're waiting, you want to get a belt or a strap, and possibly a blanket if you want to have your feet on something. Maybe you're not quite reaching the floor. Or you want to make your chair more comfortable. And either a yoga block or a book, a large book. And we may or may not use the ball at the end of the class. If we have time, I will, but if you, doesn't have to be a tennis ball. If you don't have a ball, don't worry about it. We can do some other options for you. I do have a yoga mat down. Last week when I was doing the class, it was a little slippery, so I thought I better get a little bit better grip for my feet. And also, if you want to use either a pillow, couch pillow, or a bolster, if you've got a bolster, it's always nice to have extra props just to make yourself a little bit more comfortable. So we will put that to the side and hope you all are doing well today. We'll do some seated poses. We're going to be doing some hand, arm, neck stretches, and then some balancing and some standing poses. You can either be standing or you can be seated on the chair. I'll give you a couple of options that way too. So whatever you feel like you want to try today, it's up to you. You are your best teacher. So if you have anything that's bothering you, any pain, any numbness, any tingling, then just back out of the pose, and you can just sit back in your chair and wait for us to come to the next pose. So just always be mindful if there is something that maybe we are doing that you do not have to do everything that I say. So just be very careful, and we're going to have a very nice class today and get you relaxed and just really peaceful in the moment. So I believe we're just a minute into our class. So our other person will just wait. They can join us at any time. So we're going to get started, and they can pop in if they need to. Okay. So first of all, we are going to be sitting on our chair, feet on the floor, or if you have a mat. And if you're not quite feet on the floor, which my feet are just a little bit off, you can put your feet right here. That might be a little bit too much. So just play with it. Maybe I'll use my blanket here. You want your feet to be solid on something, whether it be blanket. Yes, that's much better. So what we're going to do first is we're going to start with our upper body, and the first thing I'm going to have you do is to sit mindfully, and we're going to breathe just for a few minutes here. So with your feet on the floor, thighs parallel to the floor, hands can either be on your thighs or palms up, or maybe just gently in your lap, just holding your hands like this. And then just relax your shoulders. You can just gently focus on something in the room, or if you want to even close your eyes, just gently flutter your eyes closed. And then start breathing softly through your nose. Nice inhale in and exhale out, either through your nose or your mouth, whatever is comfortable for you. Breathing in, breathing out. Just focusing on your breath. Leaving everything outside your room. As you're sitting in the chair, coming more into your breath, think of the space around the room, around you. Think of the space to the right of you. As you inhale, think of the space to the left of you. Another inhale, think of the space above your head. Inhale, thinking of the space between your back and the chair, or maybe between the chair and the back wall. And then thinking of the space in front of you. Just letting your space between your eyebrows just gently soften. Relaxing your lips, relaxing your tongue, relaxing your shoulders. Bringing nice focus with your intention. And make an intention for the class today, whether that be a word or a mantra, or maybe you want to dedicate your practice to someone else, or maybe to yourself. So as you're breathing in, thinking your word, maybe it's calm, maybe it's patience. Your mantra could be, I am calm, I am patient, I am love. Taking another long, deep breath in together. Counting to 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding it slightly and exhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in. 4, 3, 2, 1. And breathing out. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're just coming back to your natural breathing. If you had your eyes closed, just flutter them open. And we'll start with our nice little arm stretch, finger stretch, by reaching our right hand forward, extending your fingers out wide, and taking your index finger and your thumb of your left hand and gently bringing that pinky finger back. Just a gentle stretch, releasing the finger and then coming to your ring finger. Gently stretch, release and come to your middle finger. Gently stretch and release. Index finger, gently stretch and release. And then laying the tops of your hands on top of each other, coming up with your left index finger and thumb and just pulling that right thumb gently back. Nice little stretch. Then releasing the stretch and then just rotating your hand in a circle at the wrist and then reverse it around. And then bringing that right hand forward, pointing the fingers down and coming with your left hand and cupping those fingers. You should feel this in the wrist and your forearm. And then release, pointing your fingers up, bringing those left fingers around. Again, just a slight bend with your wrist back. Then release, and then rotate your fingers around. And then extending that left hand out, fingers spread wide, bringing your right thumb and index finger and just gently pressing on that pinky finger. Releasing the pinky finger, coming to your ring finger, gentle stretch. Releasing your ring finger, coming to your middle finger, gentle stretch. Releasing your finger and coming to your index finger. And then laying your hands on top of each other, reaching up with your index finger, your right hand and your right thumb, just bringing that left thumb back. Releasing that thumb and then just rotating that left wrist. And then reverse the circle with your hand. And then extending that left hand out again. Fingers pointed down, right hand coming around, cupping those fingers. And then just stretching that wrist gently back. Releasing and pointing your fingers up. And then coming around with those right fingers. And just gently stretching that wrist back. Releasing your fingers. And then again, doing your wrist circles one way then the other. And then lowering your hands at your side. Now we're going to do some big hip circles, getting that lower back. And so you want to scoot maybe a little bit forward, excuse me, on your chair. And this will give you some room to move in your chair. Make sure your feet are flat on the floor, or if you have a mat or a pillow. And you can hold onto the side of the chair. We're going to extend our body forward. And we're just bending at the wrist. We're making really large circles. And this feels really good. Just going around in a big circle. Doesn't matter whether you're going right or left. We're going to reverse and go the other way in just a second. And then reverse your hips. And then coming back to center. Extending your arms out. And we're going to have our palms coming forward. You're going to come forward into a big circle, just rotating those arms back. Make sure you don't take anything out behind you like a plant or a candle. And as we move our arms into a tighter circle, just moving them a little bit faster and faster as you get tighter in the circle. And then reverse the circle. And then slowly slowing down and then opening up those arms even further. I'll keep hitting my point. Makes me move my arm back a little bit more. Try to rotate like you're pinching your shoulder blades together. And then when you're ready, let your hands hang at the sides. And we're going to do some shoulder rolls. You're going to roll your shoulders forward. Hi, Callie. We're just starting, so you haven't missed much. We're rolling our shoulders forward. And then rolling the shoulders back. Reverse them backwards. Get the full range of motion. Again, if anything is bothering you, you feel any pain, any sharpness, any poking, any tingling, or any numbness, you just stop it, pull out of that. And then just let your arms go and just wiggle them around. Now, next we're going to come up with our cactus arms. You're going to fold your arms back, squeezing your shoulder blades together, bringing your chest forward. And then release And on your inhale, bringing your elbows at your side, you're going to bring your hands to your side like you're getting the lower part of your back, lower shoulder blades. And then release, interlacing your fingers. And you can go over your head, or if your shoulders aren't quite there, you can always bring your hands in front of you and just stay right here. Or you can slowly reach your arms up over your head. My shoulders don't go back very far, so this is about it for me, but if you can pull your forearms behind your ears without any pain, it's a nice, again, a nice shoulder stretch. Then slowly, if your arms are overhead, bring them down, undo your arms, and then just bring your arms to your side. And then just do a little shoulder, tiny shoulder rolls, let everything go. I'm going to do some cat-cows now. So coming to the front edge of your chair, you can hold onto the chair in the front or have your hands right on your thighs. And as you breathe in, you're going to reach forward with your chest. And this would be your cow. And then as you exhale, you come in and you're rounding your back into your cat. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, coming back, rounding your shoulders, your back. Inhale and exhale. Do a few more rounds on your own, whatever you feel you need. If you want to, again, maybe as you're doing your cat-cow, you can roll your hips. So as you breathe in, you're coming around, and as you exhale, you're arching your back. And coming back to center, keeping your hands on your thighs. Now we're going to concentrate on our ribs. And this is a very slight move, not a very large movement, but it does really nicely on the muscles on the side here. So as you breathe in, your rib cage comes forward, and exhale to the right, inhale to the back, exhale to the left. So inhale forward, exhale right, inhale back, exhale left. Just come forward, to the right, to the back, to the left, and forward, and we're going to reverse. Now go to the left, to the back, to the right, and forward. Do one more round, to the left, to the back, to the right, and forward. Okay, shaking everything out again. Now we're going to do a twist, sort of a detox twist. You're going to be churning with your shoulders. Try not to move your lower back as little as possible. So putting your left hand on your right thigh and bringing that right arm around the back of the chair, keeping your hips forward, just looking over to the right. Now, if this is okay for you and you want to get a little bit more of a twist, just turn your gaze over your right shoulder and your shoulders will follow. Just hold this for just a few breaths. Then release the twist, coming back to center. Putting your right hand on your left thigh and bringing that left arm behind your chair. Again, you can stay just gazing right over to your left. If you want to do a little bigger twist, then just follow your gaze over your left shoulder. Holding for a few breaths. Your next exhale, release into center. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to do a tricep stretch. You're going to take your right hand and tapping yourself on your back, bringing your left hand underneath your elbow on your upper arm, and then gently press that back. Again, just being mindful and pressing until you start to feel something. Your edge might be here, it might even be here, or it might even be further than mine. We're all different, we have all different body types and different edges where we start to feel it. Then releasing that arm down, bringing your right arm across your body, bending at the elbow with your left arm, and then just gently pulling a little bit more on the shoulders. Then releasing, bringing your left hand up over, tapping yourself on the back, and then taking your right hand and pressing underneath your elbow and your upper arm. And releasing that down, bringing that left arm across your body, at your elbow, bringing your left hand up. Just a little shoulder stretch in a little different direction. And release those arms. Maybe do a couple of shoulder rolls front and back. And then sitting a little bit forward on your chair, you can put your right foot forward and we're going to do some ankle rolls. But first, let's do some point and flex. Point and flex your toes. And then some ankle rolls. And then reverse. And then when you're ready, you might need to hold on to the chair to give you balance. You're going to move your whole right leg like you're doing a big circle with your right leg. And bring that leg down, extending your left foot out, and point and flex, point and flex. And then ankle rolls. And reverse the ankle roll. And then again, making sure you got a hold of your chair if you need it. And then big circles with your full leg. And let's reverse the circle. And then bringing that left foot down. Now we're going to do a forward fold. Probably can't see my feet real well. I think I'm out of camera, but you just want to extend your feet down to the floor. You might come to the edge of your chair, and you're just going to bend your back at the bending at the waist. I'm sorry, and just coming forward, reaching forward. Now your reach may just come to your shins. It may come to your feet. It may come to the floor, just whatever your stretch is, just coming forward, bending at the waist. Try not to arch around your back, just staying straight with your back, but hinging at the waist. And then slowly rolling up and extending your feet wide on the mat. Toes are pointed out. And we're going to hinge at the waist again, and we're going to do a seated straddle pose. So let's bring our arms up over our head, and then hinging at the waist, and we're just coming forward. Now again, you may just come to a blanket, may not come all the way to the floor. You can use your block, but if you are coming to the floor, make sure that you're not rounding down quite yet. You have that flat back. And then slowly release down, release that head. Nod yes. And then say no with your head. And then always come back to yes. And then slowly release up, bringing your legs together. And we're going to do our chair pose next with our chair. So you can either stay seated in your chair or you can come up off your chair if you feel real stable. So you want to keep your feet, let's keep them about 2 fists apart to give yourself some stability here if you're coming up out of the chair. If you're going to stay on the chair, you can keep your toes and your heels together and your knees together. So you're going to take a nice deep inhale, and then if you're seated in the chair, just bringing your arms forward, reaching your hands above your head. Now, if this is too much for you, you can always bring your hands to heart center. And if you feel like you're stable enough and you want to come up off the chair, just lift your bottom up, coming forward. Back is straight, shoulders are down away from your ears. Make sure you're looking at something that isn't moving. And then on your next exhale, if you're standing, make sure the chair is behind you, and then slowly sit back. We'll do a forward fold, extending your legs out, and then reaching forward. Coming all the way up. Bringing your feet back to the floor. Our second chair. Again, taking your arms up, forward and front, hands above your head or at heart center. You're sitting on the chair, having your feet tightly together, knees together. If you're standing, you might need a little bit more stabilization by having your feet apart. And on your next exhale, coming back to the chair. We're going to take our block or our book, putting the block underneath your left foot, or you can keep your foot on the floor. You don't even need it if you just want to come with your legs crossed. Magali, probably if you have issues with your knees, I would say just keep your ankles crossed. I'm going to come up on the block with my left foot and then bring my right foot up onto my left thigh. Now you can stay right like this, or coming up, scooting up a little bit on the chair, and then just hinging with the waist, giving yourself a nice little back stretch here. It opens those hips more. On your next exhale, releasing that foot down, moving the block over to your right foot, or if you're not using a block, just making sure that your right foot is stable on the floor, and either do your crossed ankles or your floor or your block, and you're going for the full expression, bringing your left foot onto your right thigh. You can stay again just like this, or if you want to hinge at the waist and come down a little bit more, you can actually come with your arms through, giving yourself even a bigger stretch. Nice deep breath. On your next exhale, releasing that foot down. Moving your block over if you have block. And we're getting ready for our standing poses. So, coming into our balancing poses first. Coming onto the right side of the chair, you're going to use your left hand to balance yourself or guide yourself. Your left foot is going to be your standing foot. We're going to be coming into tree pose. So making sure all four corners of that left foot are on the floor, giving you a nice support. Now don't hyperextend your knee, just have a slight bend in your knee. And then there are various options for tree. You can bring your heel up onto your right heel onto your left ankle, into a tripod. You can bring your right foot up to your calf, avoiding the knee and bringing that right foot up, pressing into your upper thigh, or you can come into a lotus pose. I'm going to try to stay right here on my upper thigh. Your hand can remain on the chair. Your right hand, if you want to bring it up over your head. And if you feel stable, you can let go with your left hand, or you can stay right where you are. Just looking at something in the room that's not moving. Just concentrating, it's called your drishti. You're focusing in on something, and remember your breath. On your next exhale, bringing your arm and your right arm and your right foot down, and then just rotating that left leg around. Next, balancing pose on this side. I'm going to take your right knee up, flexing your right foot, and you can hold your shin of your right leg with your right hand, or maybe support underneath your thigh, or you can even take your big toe into your peace fingers and come forward, or come out to the side. So I'll give you different options. You can just stay right here with your hand on the chair, or you can bring right hand up, left hand up. Remember to breathe. Shaking is good. On your next exhale, bringing everything down, rotating that left leg around. Now we're going to be coming into our warrior series. Let me move my pillows and blankets. We're going to be stepping out with our left foot forward, right foot back. So your left foot, the toes are pointed straight ahead. Your back foot or your right foot, feet are like a T to your front foot. make sure that you, when you lunge down in your warrior, that your knee is staying over your foot or even pointed out towards your pinky toe. Don't roll it in because that may injure it. So if you are standing, get your feet planted first. Make sure you've got everything supported. Hips are right below shoulders. And when you feel good, then extend your arms out into warrior two. Now, if you're staying on the chair, it's not too much different, except the back foot or the right foot might be a little bit, not quite all the way down onto the mat. It just depends, but it's best to be all in one line again. That front foot is pointed to your forward, and then you extend your arms. So in your warrior two, on your next exhale, bring that left arm down to your left thigh. I'm going to do a side angle. Now you are coming all the way up with your right hand up over your head, extend it out. Now you can look forward. You can even look down, forward, or up at your thumb. Nice right side body stretch. On your next exhale, we're bringing that right hand back, down all the way onto your leg, bringing the left hand over your head as you're balancing a ball. And then on your next exhale, coming into warrior two. Now if you're standing in your warrior two, we're coming into triangle, so you just straighten that front leg. You might want to bring the back leg in just a little bit. Extending out with your left hand as far as you can go. And when you've reached your edge, then coming down either to your shin, your ankle, or your block. And your right hand is going straight up into the air. You can be looking at your thumb, looking straight ahead, or looking down the mat or the floor. If you're on your chair, it's a little bit harder to straighten this leg. You might have a slight bend in it, but that's okay. You just want to do the same thing with your arm straight over your head. On your next exhale, coming out of triangle into your warrior two, just for a few breaths. And when you're ready, coming out of your warrior two, into your forward fold on the chair. So you put your forearms on your chair. Feet are about a foot, foot and a half away from the chair. And then just hanging your head through your shoulders, through your arms. And then coming into your chair downward dog, you're keeping your hands flat on the seat, stepping your feet out a little bit more, and then just extending out from the chair. Again, letting your head hang between your shoulders. On your next inhale, coming up, extending that right foot forward, coming up on the ball of your foot, of your left foot, and this is a lunge. Now you can stay right here, or you can bring up one hand, and if you feel stable, You can bring up another hand, maybe coming a little bit lower in your lunge. On your next inhale, lowering that left heel down to the floor. Now you can bring your hands down to the chair and just sort of lean back into that heel. Nice stretch for the Achilles here. And coming forward, bringing that left foot to meet your right. And then just standing for a few breaths here in mountain pose. And when you're ready, I'm going to move my chair over. We're coming over to the other side. This time your right foot is going to be your standing or supporting foot. On the floor, all four corners of your foot. Slight bend in your knee. Your tree can be tripod, your calf, or all the way up onto your thigh or lotus. Mine is not staying very well on this side, so I'm going to hold it here. And you can bring your left arm up, and if you feel stable, you can bring your right arm up. Remember to look at something that's not moving. And then coming down, bringing that left foot down, rotating that right foot. And making sure your standing or right foot is nicely planted, solidly on the floor, slight bend in your knee, coming up into your knee raise. Now you can use your hand, left hand under your thigh, on your shin, or again, if you want to do your peace fingers with your big toe. I'll give you options. And if you feel stable, you can bring your right hand up off the chair, left hand up off the chair, or off your knee. And don't watch me. And when you're ready, bring that left foot down to meet the right, and just rotate that right leg out. And this time, you're going to be stepping forward for the Warrior Series to go on to your right foot. Coming into Warrior 2. Again, making sure that knee is going out to your pinky toe. You have your left or back foot that's like a T to your front foot. Extending those arms out into Warrior 2. Nice, forceful warriors. Remember your breath. On your next inhale, bringing that right arm down to your right thigh and extending that left hand up over your head into side angle, looking either out straight forward, down at the floor, or up at your thumb. And then on your next exhale, coming back with your left hand down your left leg, bringing your right arm over your head into your Sun Warrior. On your next inhale, bringing your arms out into your warrior two. Remember to breathe. And then straightening if you're standing, and if you're sitting, trying to straighten as much as you can that right leg, that front leg. Reaching forward with your right hand as far as you can go, and then coming down either to your shin, your foot, the floor, or a block, or maybe using a chair. Left hand is going up in the air, looking at your left thumb, forward or down at the floor. On your next exhale, coming out of triangle, coming back to your chair, into your forward fold, forearms on the chair, feet about a foot away from the chair, and then just fold your head down. And taking a nice inhale, moving those hands back on the chair, stepping back a little bit further into your down dog on your chair. Standing your head down. When you're ready, on your next exhale, coming forward with your left foot, back with your right. You're on the ball of your foot on your right foot. Now you can hold on to the chair right here. Maybe come up a little bit, your right hand on the back of the chair. Or if you feel stable, both hands up in the air. Then slowly coming back, pressing that right heel into the floor. And then coming up, right foot meets your left foot into your mountain pose. Just feeling both feet on the floor, all four corners of both feet. Hands are open, forward, shoulders are back. Long, slow, deep breaths. Now, one last balancing pose. We'll take our strap, or you can just use your hand. I'm going to turn my chair, but you'll stand behind your chair. We'll start with the right foot, and you can just loop your strap or your belt around here. I'm going to put it around my left foot, holding with my right hand, and just bending the knee. You can hold the chair. While you're holding the chair, you can kick that foot out a little bit more, bending at the waist, coming forward. If you feel stable, you can extend your left hand out. Leading with your heart, your chest open. And coming back down, releasing that foot under your strap. Rotating that left leg, standing on your right foot, all four corners nice and strong, looping your strap or your belt around your left foot. Your strap is in your left hand. Again, you're kicking out. You can stay right here with your chair, or you can reach forward. And on your next exhale, hand back to chair, left foot to meet your right foot. Just a little something to work on. You can work on that at home. Of course, you are at home, but without the class. Coming back to our chair, finding our balance. Let's see, time is good. So let's, coming into more of our yin poses in chair, we're just gonna come forward with a straddle pose on the chair, so extending your feet out, your toes are pointed out to the side. And we're just going to come into a fold. We did it a little bit earlier, but we're going to stay in the pose a little bit longer. And so you can get, maybe now that your lower back is a little bit more warmed up and maybe more relaxing in your shoulders. So we're going to take a nice long deep breath in with our hands over our head. And then hinging at the waist. We're coming forward now. You can come right down all the way to the floor. If that's too much, you can use your block or your pillow. You can even use your blanket or your bolster pillow, putting it on your lap or your thighs, and then coming forward. Just relaxing forward. Letting your head go. Relaxing your shoulders. As you breathe, especially on the exhale, maybe releasing a little bit more space in your lower back. Releasing a little bit more space in your neck. As you breathe in, filling up that space with your breath. When you're ready, slowly rolling up, vertebrae by vertebrae, as slow as you can, back to your seated position. Now coming into cobbler's pose, I always like to use the block just because it brings your feet up off the floor, but yet it's not a full cobbler's pose where you're really open. For what we're doing today, that might be a little extreme. So we're just going to be gentle with ourselves today, just being very mindful, lots of stress going on. So we're just going to settle into our cobbler's pose. Cobbler's pose are the soles of your feet are together. Like I said, you could use your block or you can just be on the floor. And you can place your hands on your thighs and just stay right here. If you want to come forward, just hinging at the waist with a flat back, going as far as you can with a flat back. And if you want to bring your hands down to your feet, and then just slowly roll over, rolling your shoulders over, bringing your head down. Remember your breath. Just letting everything go. And when you're ready on your next exhale, slowly, slowly, as slow as you can, come all the way back up. Remove your block. And this time, if you want to use your tennis ball, you can, but you don't have to. But this is a little foot massage. You can just bring your foot up onto your thigh and then just roll, starting with the top of your foot. And just do a little tiny massages, little circles with your thumbs. Just relaxing those feet, coming into the heel, giving yourself a nice little massage with your thumbs there. And releasing that right foot, bringing your left foot up, and doing the same thing, just rotating on the pads of your feet. Nice little massage. And releasing that left foot to the floor. We're going to come into our seated Shavasana. So if you want to put a blanket or a block or a pillow under your feet, you can come back into the chair, just nestle yourself back into your chair. And then your hands can either be down on your thighs or palms open, raised up to accept, or you can just have your hands gently folded in your lap. And just flutter your eyes closed. And just we'll do some breath together. So open your mouth wide and letting everything out. And then long, slow, deep inhale through your nose. Filling up all you can, all the way down into your belly, expanding your belly out, holding it just slightly, and then slowly exhale through either your nose or your mouth. Emptying everything out. And take a nice, long, deep inhale through your nose. Breathing in, breathing all that nice air in. Holding it at the top. And then slowly, slowly exhale through your nose or your mouth. And take another long, slow, deep inhale through your nose. Holding it at the top. And then opening your mouth wide and letting everything go. And then just continue to sit here, coming back to your nice, soft, natural breath. Slowly coming in and coming out. Coming back to the calm. And while you're sitting there, I have a little reading that I had today that came into my email, which I thought was very, very good. So I'll read this to you as you're just contemplating your breath. It's called To Listen is to Care. Deep listening is a powerful way to demonstrate our willingness to support someone who is lonely, hurting, sad, and/or angry. To listen is to grow. Curious listening enlarges our knowledge base, giving us a wider view of specific topics and inching us toward a wiser, more informed maturity. To listen is to learn. Critical listening helps us to understand why others might hold a different opinion than our own. It also provides clues about how to speak in a way that improves the odds they can hear, consider, and possibly even be influenced by our perspective. To listen is to lead. Comprehensive listening models the communication and connection skills we hope to transmit to those we lead, whether we're a supervisor, manager, parent, or mentor. To listen is to love. Empathetic listening affirms those who long to be heard, to be seen, and to be validated. Let's up our listening game this week, and when we connect with those we lead, those we love, and those we can learn from. Are you in? I thought that was a very nice thing to start our week with. And as we end our class, we always do with our namaste. So bringing your hands to heart center. I honor the place in you where the universe resides. I honor the place in you of truth, of light, of love, of peace. I honor the place in you that if you are in that place, and I am in that place too, we are one. And together we say, Namaste. Thank you guys for coming this week. Take care of yourself and hope to see you next week. Namaste.